Hello, so I'm Mistress Eva and this is Tea Cake, and today we are with the amazing Mistress Ezada Sinn in her house of Sinn.
Yes, in Romania, in Bucharest.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
It's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
No, I'm so amazed to be here and surrounded by the empire that you have built. It's an honor for me. So, and thank you so much for agreeing to drink tea with me and chat.
I'm really looking forward to try this tea.
Yeah, so this is a Pu'er, a 2006 fermented tea from Mount Mensong in China. Yeah, so it's an aged fermented tea, and I chose it for you because it's widely regarded as a very unique and formidable tea. And this is also, I mean, because of the age, it's very prized as well, and so I thought it would be an interesting thing for you to taste, as well as it aligns with what I feel you've created for yourself.
You pamper me, thank you so much. I think this is the first time when I will try the fermented tea.
Okay, yes, it's amazing. All right, so I'll just pour it up for us. And so I've already let it sit a tiny bit so that it can start to open up. But this will be the first steep. And in Chinese tea, I mean, you can let things go for as long as you like. It's very subjective, which is the nice thing about it. But usually to taste something, you just let it go for maybe 45 seconds at first. Yeah, and so I have a little timer on my thing. But yeah, contrary to the usual, maybe English way of doing 3 or 4 minutes. And so we usually pour it from a pot into a fairness cup, and that distributes the taste so that we can get a little bit more of a fair taste so that you don't just get the layers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so the more you drink it, the
different tastes start to open up. So you get a very different experience with each steep. Yeah, and this one you can probably go for about 10 without it starting to get really watery, but yeah, a really good tea will tell you a lot of different things over time. And so this is the first steep, and you will see the color also change as we go along. And the first steep usually tells you the most about how it feels on the viscosity on your tongue, and a little bit of the smell, but you really start to get the taste from about the second steep onwards. Yeah, and I'm not sure how this is going to go with it, so maybe we can try it in after a couple of steeps. But this is a chocolate from a Taiwanese producer, and it's got I went to a tasting of theirs the other day, and it was so much attention to detail, but this one has lychee nibs in it, so it's got a fruit bits in it.
Nice.
Yes, so it'll probably offset it quite a lot or overtake it, I'm not sure, so we'll see. But just to start, I'll get you started on a little bit. Yeah, and so there's a lot of a ritual around drinking it this way as opposed to just in a mug, which is also a lovely but different experience, but it's it kind of makes you really focus on the little detail. And so you can kind of smell it first.
I'm following you on this. It's the first time.
You can slurp it because otherwise it might it's not too hot at the moment actually. Yeah, but it already has a very fragrant kind of mild and woody thing. Even on the first steep, I guess you get that kind of character, that soft character in an aged Pu'er very easily. Yeah, so yeah, this is a blend from OVP, a tea merchant in Singapore. Yeah, how does it compare to the tea that you're used to drinking? Do you usually...
It tastes more like green tea.
Yes.
But it's more round.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know the words you use in tea, but it's more like a full body. Green tea.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, for sure.
It's what I feel. But I should tell you, this is the first time I'm I'm having this.
Yeah, Pu'er. Yeah.
I don't have experience with this, so thank you so much.
No.
For introducing me.
No, thank you so much for letting me introduce it to you.
So do you drink tea with your boys?
I do sometimes. This is a very personal ritual for me.
I see.
I usually do it all on my own. Yeah, I really like that. And I try to expose my different slaves to the ritual as well as to the different tastes, and take them with me to different tea houses and that kind of thing. But it takes a while to really step into the refined nature of it, and none of them are there.
You have such an addictive personality, and I know that your voice wants to please you, of course.
Yes,
so I believe they really want to.
They will work hard. There's so many things that they need to work hard at, though.
But the tea is something so important to you.
Yeah, for sure. No, I would rather that they take the time to buy me really good tea and to buy me the teaware that I like, or find spaces where I can find good tea, because I think the ritual of it maybe is a little bit too personal for them to step into. Thank you for taking so much of an interest in my tea. We've only been talking about my tea. We haven't even started talking about you yet.
I'm a person who likes to learn new things, and I feel like we need to learn our entire life.
Yeah.
And I have a thirst for knowledge, and this is something so new for me. And coming from Romania, as I told you, we don't have a tea culture. For us, it's a complete different thing. It's medicinal, herbal teas, and that's it. So this is completely new for me. And although I traveled and I've been to a tea tasting, I don't remember where that was, Beijing, I think. It was nothing like that, of course. You know the kind of touristic shops. You go there, you taste some teas, but it's everything rush, and
they really rush you.
Yeah, it's not a truly experience.
Good place to start.
Yes, of course. I think that's a good thing. And even my approach in domination and female-led relationship is like that, because I feel that my approach is very personal, and I do not believe there is good or bad, because this is what it means to be dominant, to embrace your own persona, your own kings, and then to to live it,
work on it.
Exactly.
Make it more nuanced to fit you.
Yes, and to find the best people that will complement your desires, your pleasures, your wishes. And
how did you get to? That's a very inclusive and nuanced understanding of that identity. I mean, nobody really writes a rule book for us, right? As dominant women or as professional dominants, we have to figure out a lot of things on our own. And how you've just described it, it has a lot of self-awareness in it. And I guess I'm wondering, did that come for you quickly because of who you are, or is that something that came over time, or did somebody tell you, or how did you come to that, I guess?
Well, actually, I learned to be myself in time through experience and accepting myself the way I am. No, actually, in Romania, we have a very strong culture. You should be this way, like to put people
in the box.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's wrong. That's why I'm trying my best to help people in general, but women in special, to accept themselves the way they are and not to be ashamed of. There is nothing, in my opinion, regarding sexuality that somebody should be ashamed of.
And did you have a point in time where you ever felt conflicted?
Yes, actually, a lot. My parents were teachers, and I told them about my kings from the beginning. But they, of course, they try to helped me achieve a vanilla career, which is nothing wrong about it, but it was not for me.
Okay.
So I was struggling in different vanilla jobs that I was hating because it was not who I am. And I did everything kinky as a hobby, unpaid hobby, which is okay, but it was not for me. So I found the true happiness when I accepted who I am, and this is a hobby that I should transform into profession. And my success and comes when I was happy with who I am and where I am. As you know, I'm not doing professional sessions, but the total power exchange is extremely important to me. So in my long-term relationships with the boys I have, it's extremely important for me to have total financial control over them. That means it's not happening at the moment with all of them, but where I'm going is where they do not have any money on their own. They just live on an allowance, and they are not allowed to buy anything without my permission. Yes, because for me my kink, it's the control I have over the men.
And what about that control feels good to you? Like, how does it feel when you have that control?
Well, it's the only thing that matters to me inside a relationship, yes. To feel that I have total control over all the aspects.
It's the reasoning for bothering with a relationship.
I'm sorry, I don't understand exactly your question.
So I guess I'm trying to understand, I mean, I understand from my perspective, right? But in terms of how we can communicate it to others, what about control? Is it exciting? Does it make you feel safe? Is it a reason for even bothering to talk to other people? So in my case, I adore total power exchange as well, for personal reasons being, I find there's a lot of energy that I spend if I don't have my awareness over all the pieces. And my energy is very precious to me because I don't actually have very much. But if I am fully aware and fully at least given that option of the control of somebody, I find it a lot more settling to be able to have a relationship. So I need it even more than I am excited by it. And then of course there's the layer of excitement that comes from such an exchange, because it's a real thrill also, you know, to be able to toy with somebody's life, but also have to have that trust. And it's so many things, I guess, when it comes to that dynamic for me personally. So I guess I just wonder, I have my own motivations, right? What do you think are your motivations behind it? Like, what is so interesting about it?
Yes, of course, it's a mix of
different things.
But it makes me feel like a true goddess. And you know, I like to call myself goddess because it's exactly the feeling that total power exchange gives me. Of course, I care a lot about my boys, and I love them very much, and I don't want to hurt them permanently. But I like the idea of having their life belongs to me, and I have the right to decide if they live or die. You see, this is where it goes. So of course it makes me feel powerful and loved. So when somebody gives you total control over everything, starting with their sexuality, but this is easy because of course all men would like that. The way they look, the way they dress, all their assets. Because after sexuality, something very important for men is their finances. So when they give me total control over their finances, that means they give themselves to me. So that's why it's so important. And I would like to show, especially to the women, that the female-led relationship is not necessarily equal to the BDSM world. I would like to show the difference from the fantasy to the reality of a female-led relationship.
What is the fantasy?
The fantasy, of course, is the fantasies that I have sexually, and the boys that admire me have it also. To be a prisoner, to be beaten all the time, to be locked inside a chastity, inside a little cage all the time. All this, which is fun, and I love it. But it's just a very little aspect of the reality of a female-led relationship. Just like in a vanilla relationship, you have the whole aspects of relationship, the communication, the quality time together, visiting the family, taking care of the children, and the sex. Exactly the same. Is in a female-led relationship.
The proportions.
Exactly, and the proportions are the same. And even at the beginning of a vanilla relationship, there is more sex and more sexual. The more you erodate the relationship, there are other things that matters more. So I feel that people in general should see that, and women should not be afraid of taking control over their boyfriends. There are so many boys who will be happy to give the key of their chastity to their girlfriend or wife, and they say no because they think it's an obligation for them to play with them every week or whatever, and it's not. It's not an obligation.
Just leave it locked. Where did I put the key?
Well, this is
know
important.
Where the key is.
Yes, of course. Regular teasing is important, but it doesn't have to be like a session. Very little things that are absolutely natural and normal.
You explain it very well. Like, I guess I don't get the chance to talk about it very much, but it's exactly how you say, where it's like any other relationship, in terms of we have to talk about who's gonna do this particular thing, or with the house we have to talk about like, especially with me, my travel schedule and what's being managed. It's like it depends how invested you are in that person, because if you adore that person and you want their life to run smoothly, that is an exciting thing. But if you explain it like, but then somebody has to organize when the cleaner is coming over, they're like, that doesn't really sound very exciting. Is that a female-led relationship? They're like, yeah, exactly. So how you say it's like, it's the same proportions as any other relationship, the same kind of time that you're spending communicating, the same kind of time that you're spending arguing, but the sexuality and the power exchange looks different. Right?
With one more thing.
Yes,
In my opinion, there is no arguing.
Because
that was negotiated at the
Yeah.
beginning. So I negotiated with my husband. You give me total control to take decisions. This doesn't mean I do not respect you or I do not respect your opinions at all. And in absolutely everything, you are free to tell me what you think about it. But I am the only one deciding.
Who has the final say.
Yes. So there is no arguing in that.
That makes sense.
It's just my way. I'm listening to you. I respect you and your opinion, and my boys should be great advisors for me, because I cannot lead, for example, things regarding technical stuff like the computer I want, the new computer I want to buy. I don't know too much
You're
about
a resource.
Yes, I don't know too much about computers. That's not my thing. So I will listen, I will tell him
Yeah.
what I want from my computer, and then he should do the research, and I will just buy it.
Yeah.
So it's important, and one reason I wanted to have more boys, different boys, it's because each of them will bring something different into my life.
Different skill sets.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you so much.
No, thank you. Yeah, and I can't wait to see how, I mean, I already think you're achieving it, but how your next stage of life and ambition goes for you.
Definitely.
Because you've already created so much. Like I told you yesterday, if you just stopped, it would be fine. Just go on holiday, live in Bali.
I will come visit. I've been to Bali one time.
Oh.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It can be really beautiful. Yeah. But I have a feeling you're just gonna keep going, and it's very exciting. And thank you for doing all that you do for the world of femdom. You're iconic, and it's the femdom world is much more prolific with you and your work in it. So thank you.
Thank you. I feel the same about you.
Not comparable. Anyway, thank you.